Welcome everybody to another exciting episode of HomeKit Insider. You've got me, as always, Andrew O'Hara. Joining me this week, once again, is Wes Hilliard. How you doing this week, man?
Pretty good. It's been a very busy couple weeks. I mean, as everyone knows, WWDC always keeps us on our toes, and my family life has been wild. It's summertime. I don't know. It's just a lot to keep up with.
For sure. And I completely blame Dub for my illness last week. Like, I go there around a bunch of people touching all sorts of things, licking sidewalks, like, the normal stuff that you do on a vacation or a work trip, whatever. And then I go figure I'm sick when I get back. So
it's known as the con sickness. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, this year was funny because I did not get sick from CES. I was just like exhausted. But I wasn't sick, and then I figures we make it out to Dub, and then I get hit with the sickness after that one. So it's like one way or the other, it's happening. But
we're being visited by a cat.
Oh, for anyone who is watching, there might be a shot of Wes's cat. Oh my goodness, it's a kitten! Look at that.
So we have an automatic pet feeder. It's not my favorite. No. Okay, I'm gonna shut my door better.
I have the Aqara automatic pet feeder, which does work well for the cats. I wouldn't say so much like dogs unless they're smaller dogs because capacity isn't huge, but it does work well. We go out on a lot of weekend trips and stuff. Cats they're great. They can survive off of their water and automatic pet feeders. Right. I like getting the notifications. So the Aqara one's pretty solid. I wonder if they'll add that one into, not Matters, but Matter support, because then I could at least, use more natural voice commands to dispense the food.
Yeah, I have Pet Libro, and I need to write them emails every day until they implement shortcuts, because why don't you have shortcuts? Just let me feed my cat. You're a technology-ish thing. The only thing that connects to an app really is their pet feeder, because it has a camera in it, which is cool. I like checking in on my pets, but now I'm just more and more inclined. Maybe Aqara will do something with that, because I believe theirs is just a feeder, right? There's no camera.
Yes.
Yeah, so maybe Aqara needs to do a pet feeder with camera and add the camera to HomeKit, and I would buy that in a second.
You need to create 100 iCloud aliases and then write into them, because otherwise it's just one person. You need to come up with 100 aliases and then send them in. That way it's clear that there's a huge number of customers that really want this feature.
If anyone knows of any good smart pet brands, I'm all ears, because I've had 3 water fountains from Pet Libro, and all 3 of them have been murdered by one of my cats. Not the one I showed you. It's just the other one. He's a very large cat, and he likes bathing in the water. He likes washing his paws and getting all clean and dainty, and ruins every fountain that I buy. So I have yet to find one that is big, heavy, cat friendly. So one of them almost caught on fire. It was great. So we'll see if I can ever figure this out for my silly cats.
Well, pivoting from smart pet feeders, getting into the news for the week. Okay, first one, a little bit basic, but it's still some progress. We have a second set of TVs that are rolling out to hotels that support Apple AirPlay. This is a new feature that arrived with iOS 17, I want to say, or whatever, realm you want to put third-party TV supporting AirPlay. But you can just go into a hotel, AirPlay your content to the TV, watch from the TV app, Netflix, Hulu, anything like that, without having to worry about, hotel TV, daytime TV, garbage, all that kind of annoying stuff people typically have to deal with. So earlier this year, we saw that LG did this to some certain hotels. I think it's like the IHG hotels and resort properties, Mexico, Canada, and the US. Now Samsung is doing the same thing with some of their TVs, but they have not revealed which hotels this will be rolling out to, just that they are rolling this out. So if you're traveling, in the next 6 months to a year, you're probably going to start to see potentially some TVs that support AirPlay, which would be very nice.
I still wonder what this rollout looks like. Are we going to see this only in the most expensive fancy hotels, or are we going to actually see this roll out to everyone, even Motel 6? It's just a curiosity. I expect this is going to be very much a hardware replacement cycle.
I think there's a big difference between Motel 6 and the most expensive hotels. I think we will see this on mass market hotels, like your middle of the road ones that are above a Motel 6. I think that will happen.
Sure.
They also do have a lot of smart TVs, and if they are, Samsung ones have been able to be updated. Like they've updated with substantial features like this in the past. Not saying that's what they're doing here, but I think it'll come to quite a few hotels. Probably high end first, and then trickle down.
Airbnb a thing? I wonder if Airbnb people will bother with any of this. I feel
like
you
already basically have that, because that's just people's houses for the most part.
Just their TVs, so,
yeah, that's just people owning a TV. And if they have AirPlay turned on, it can potentially work. But at least with like Airbnbs, people don't like block HDMI ports and stuff like that.
I hope not.
Like,
yeah,
that happens with hotels too frequently.
Yeah. I think this is a good feature. I mean, we've discussed before ad nauseum, but I tend to take a little HomePod and an Apple TV with me to hotels just because I don't want to deal with whatever their nonsense is. And now we have new news. I'm going to be getting a Beats pill for portability. I think that's going to be fun. I've had my little HomePod mini and a battery for a while, but I feel like the Beats pill is just going to be a better fit. And that'll be interesting to mess with. I mean, the Apple TV can connect to it as a sound output, right? It's a Bluetooth speaker. So
yep.
I don't know, something to play with, but having the option of just AirPlaying to a TV, not having to worry about the hotel being creepy or whatever is fine. But it's always amusing going to a smart TV and finding someone else's credentials already logged into Netflix.
For sure. Okay, Wes. I am beyond excited about this next piece of news. And I also have a conundrum that I have to decide. This is my personal hell that I am trying to deal with. So I'll tell you the news, then I'll tell you what I'm dealing with as I try to make a decision. GE Cync, which I have historically not been as kind to on this episode, this show, because they've always used like Bluetooth and Bluetooth mesh. But they finally started rolling out Matter to their products. I saw these at CES and I loved them. The under cabinet lights, and they support Matter. Not those ones.
No,
not those.
Why? Oh, boo!
I did the same thing. So for anyone who didn't see the video, and also is blurry, but literally when I was Googling this before the episode to pull up some specs on it, when you type it in, the first thing it auto-populates is Home Depot. And it literally populates. I start typing like Cync under, and it auto under cabinet lights. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. And I click into it, and then it gives you 3 different outdoor light strips.
Yeah. It's just completely unhelpful.
Yes, 100%. So while Wes looks for a picture, these are under cabinet like bar lights. And I don't mean like bar like let's get tipsy. I mean like it's a bar that mounts like underneath your cabinets. This guy. There we go. If you're looking at the video, it's also the chapter art for this. I'll put it there too. But they holy smokes, there's so many cool things. So first off, in my kitchen, I have the Philips Hue light strips. I have 2 of them. I have them like cut and extended, and they fit all across like our stove, all across our cabinets. Game changer. It makes a massive difference in usability in the kitchen. On top of that, I use the Philips Hue motion sensor because it is fantastic. It works like directly, like talks to the lights, and it's instant. You barely walk into that room, and I swear the lights are already on before you can even realize it. And because they have a lot of nice features in the Hue app, you can set up all these different automations based on like time of day. So I have different brightnesses and different color temperatures based on the time of day. So I walk out into the kitchen at nighttime, looking for some water or something, and it'll come on at like 10%, very warm, come out during the day, very bright, sunlight looking. They're wonderful. So like I've always been a huge proponent of that.
What kind of prices should I be seeing here? Because these seem cheap.
Well, like, first off, let's hope these are the actual.
Exactly.
These are the Matter enabled ones. Well, I'll make sure I have the correct ones linked. But
it's a battle.
They have a lot of cool things here. So first off, the They have different color temperatures, so you can do warm, cool, or daylight, basically 3000K, 4000K, and 5000K, but different temperatures that you can tune into. They support Matter, so you can do all of your normal automations, though we'll come back to that in a minute. These get screwed into place, which is very nice. You can direct wire them for modern builds that have something there. You can direct wire these in, or you can plug them in to a normal outlet like you would. But the bars go under each cabinet, and then you can either notch out or just run a little wire in between each cabinet to continue lighting them. So they're super elegant and nice. My light strip ones keep falling down, and I've replaced the little adhesives so many times, and it's a pain. These look way, way better when mounted under a cabinet. They also have extra cool little features, like there is an option for an outlet plus a USB plug. So literally at the end of it, you can have a whole extra wall outlet and a USB plug that you can tie into to charge things or power a mixer, anything like that. Just really, really nice little trick. So there's a lot of stuff that I love.
Terrible photo. Of course, it's the only photo on their page, but I finally found it, and they seem reasonably priced. $50 ish for a single unit. Not bad. Like, I would definitely fill up my kitchen with these.
Yes. So here's what I will say, and maybe Wes, you can give me your opinion. I'm torn because I don't love the way the Hue light strips look, because it's a light strip that has to like bend around each cabinet, and they kind of dangle at points because the adhesives just keep falling off. I know I could get little clips that like screw into place, but they still don't look as nice as something like this does. So I'm debating, do I move to something like this that will look better, but I lose the Hue motion sensor? And I instead, I mean, I could still use the Hue motion sensor, but I have to set up all these individual automations for, based on time of day. Like if motion is detected between this time and this time, do this. And I don't find those as reliable as the Hue ones are. So what do you think, Wes? Would you move to these or stick with the Hue?
Right now, if you go in my kitchen, there's one of those little alcoves above the sink. There's like a window that looks outside, and you kind of look up and there's this empty space covered by an awning. So it's kind of disguised, right? And inside of that, around the interior, wraps a Philips Hue light strip that has been used multiple times, so the adhesive's gone. So it is held up with packing tape currently. It's pretty well done, actually. You'd have to actually go under the sink, look up, and actually see it, so it's fine. It's pretty ugly. I would absolutely rip all of that out and just put one of these up on the ceiling. It would make so much more sense, because like I have automations to set my home like after 1 a.m. the exterior lights, the living room, kitchen, dining room, anywhere you're going to be walking, the staircases, turn to red. That's an old Navy thing, I guess. I still like doing it though, because it's fun. It's better for your eyes, and it throws a shorter distance, I suppose. That's why the Navy does it, but I like it just because it's better for your eyes at night. Anyway, I have the light strip set to do that at night, so this would be a perfect replacement for that. Just stick it up there, and then I'll have a light strip to put somewhere else, I suppose. But as far as your sensor issue goes, that's a tough one. The Philips Hue lights are definitely more ugly if they're out in the open, if you see them, because they're just a like naked strip of LEDs with like connecting tissue between them, which is very odd, I guess, out in the open. So it depends on if you can see them or not, if I would bother replacing it.
You definitely can see them. And these, it's not just a light strip versus these, like looking at them thing. These are also more diffused, because it's a big flat bar that can diffuse the light better. Whereas with the Hue light strips, you can't, like, sometimes they'll like go against the backboard or like the tile, and you can see like the individual colors from the individual LEDs. These have that, diffuser on there, which gives a more gentle light that I think just looks better.
What about your fancy pantry with all the light? Didn't you diffuse a bunch of light strips in there and do a bunch of fancy wiring? Is this something you would completely rip out and start over with, or are you just happy with what you have?
I'm going to leave those where they are. I am happy with those. I also was able to hide those a bit better on the inside, because I made walnut shelves out of oak. So they're oak with a dark walnut stain or a black walnut stain, and they did a faux front. So it actually looks like the shelves are like an inch or an inch and a half thick, very chunky and nice looking, but it's only like 3/4 inch hardwood with that gap there. So it's just enough space, about 3/4 of an inch, to hide that light strip on the inside where you don't see it. So I would still stick with the light strips there for my wiring that I did. That I think came together very well. This would be a good option for that. But honestly,
Right.
the ones I put in are more hidden because these shelves go all the way up. That top one, you'd be able to see a light bar like this.
Be right in your face.
Yeah. So I think this is a little bit, the way I have it is a little bit more hidden for that specific install.
Sure.
Pricing and sizing. Oh, these do support colors, by the way, if that wasn't clear. Like, not only do they support like warm to cool whites, but they also do full color spectrum as well. They are Wi-Fi, 2.4 gigahertz. They come in 3 different sizes, 12, 18, and 24. They're 3 inches. They also have, those are the edge-lit light bars, and there's the 3-inch diameter puck lights. And then you can go up to 10 of these to one power source. So you can run 10 of them off a single outlet.
That's really cool.
That also might be worth it for the upgrade right there, because I have 2 different light strips. I could go all the way on my left-hand side, plug it in behind a toaster where you don't see it,
so
then move all the way across.
These are Matter, but is the Matter update out for them? Right? If I go buy one right now and plug it in, it works?
Yes.
Okay, because the Amazon listing, of course, still says Alexa and Google. Obviously, no mention of Matter, because I don't think anyone filling out that page probably knows what Matter is. So, yeah, that's always the risk. Is it coming? Is it out? So it's good to hear that it's out. This is definitely something I might invest in, just to make our kitchen a little prettier, a little easier to look at.
Prices aren't terrible. I mean, you're looking at like a light strip from Philips Hue. I'm not sure what they cost, Wes, but I'm pretty sure they're like over $100 or $80 or something for the multicolor extendable Hue light strip.
Hue, because it requires the hub. So many of their packages are over $100 because it's the thing plus the hub. You have to look for the individual kits with just the light strip, and that gets a little cheaper. But yeah, they're up there around $80 to $100 depending on what you get.
It's $100 at Best Buy, and it's actually $100. It's $10 off, so $91 is what the Philips Hue 80-inch light strip cost. Yeah, $100 for the Hue one. So it's one light strip. You can go all the way down. Versus this, yes, they're cheaper. So they're $60 for the 12-inch, $65 for the 18-inch, and then $70 for the 24-inch. So they're cheaper, but you're going to have to buy 3 of them if you're going to light like every cabinet that you have.
Right.
So it'll depend on your situation.
Give and take.
Yes.
But the cool thing is you plug 3 of them in, and then you put them in the Home app, and then you set them up as one light, and then you can just control them all simultaneously, or have different scenes and different stuff. Like this would be a lot of fun. I don't know how crazy I'll go in my current home. I mean, obviously I can remove it and take it with me, but you know, the more you set up, the more you have to take down when you move, and I'm not going to live here forever because it's a rental. But definitely something I want to experiment with. At the very least, I want to replace the weird nonsense I have going on above my kitchen sink, so that would be fun.
100%. Okay, I think we've talked me into just moving to these. I'll follow up with everyone later. We have more things to get through. I have multiple hands-on to talk about. Wes has a quick review that he also wants to touch on. So let's get through 2 more pieces of news. Nature, I think it's a Japanese company. They have a new product called the Remo Lapis. Don't confuse me, Wes. Pronunciation Insider. Well, we have it there. The Remo Lapis is a Matter IR blaster. It looks pretty neat. I had a photo. If I had it pulled up, I could send it to Wes. It'll be chapter art as usual for everyone listening. But basically, it is a tiny little puck that you can just put on your counter, and it is an IR blaster. So you can control any IR device that you have. So maybe it's a fan, ceiling fan, like a Dyson, if you got one of those. It could even control like TVs, DVD players, things like that. Anything that uses like an IR or the blasting type remote. This would be able to mimic that, and it works inside of Matter. So pretty cool. I like it. I think it's a very easy product to add. And I like their design. I just sent you a photo, Wes, so you can tell me what you think. but it's nice and simple and clean, and it just looks like a little white pebble just sitting on your stand. So I'm here for it.
I feel like this is one of those things that's in danger of getting thrown away. Like, why is this rock on the counter? I'm going to toss this in the trash. Like, but I do like the design though. This is cool, and it's an IR blaster. So, say you have a dumb TV or maybe a ceiling fan or some blinds, and you want to send some IR signals. This is what that does. You just set it somewhere in your room, and it throws the IR signal with a command. That's interesting.
Yeah. So that's available now. Link in the show notes. Next on the list, Switchbot. Switchbot has a new remote. So the Switchbot remote is a Matter-enabled universal controller. So you can use this with all of your normal TV stuff. It'll control your Apple TV or your Fire TV, anything that does work with IR, so a DVD player, Blu-ray player, anything like that can connect. They say it has like 80 or 90,000 supported devices through its bank of codes that it knows. Like, it knows all the codes for the TV brands and receivers, all that kind of stuff. So use it as a remote for that, but it's also Matter enabled, so you can use it to control any Matter devices. So you could tie it to scenes, it could be a button, turn off any specific lights on it, which is very nice. It's got a 2.4-inch LCD touchscreen. It has a touch wheel, kind of reminiscent of an iPod. 150-day battery life, about half a year on a single charge. It'll also work directly, like offline, with several Switchbot products, including the Bot Plug Mini Curtain and Ceiling Light. So if anything goes down, like power-wise, you could still be able to control some of these things locally, and it'll run you $60. You do need, for what it's worth, the Matter hub, like one of the hubs from a Switchbot, to use Matter. Otherwise, it'll just work as like a normal universal control Switchbot products.
They have a little combo right now with one of their Matter, I guess, home hubs. It's one of their nice looking ones with the temperature and stuff. That's cool. But yeah, that's a combo for $109, and I guess they have like a little 4th of July sale going on right now. So that's cool. Something to check out. I'm very tempted by this just because I was definitely I mean, I know who I'm talking to, but I was the universal control remote nerd. You know, what's the company that died that had all the cool touchscreen remotes?
What do you mean, Brilliant?
No.
I
Go
don't
back.
know. Logitech, Harmony?
Harmony, yeah, there we go. Like the ones that were literally a TV remote with a touchscreen, and you could program it to all your smart things. This is like this is right when HomeKit was getting its start, and they were huge. Like, they had a whole section at Best Buy, and you would have like your Sonos controls in there and your Samsung Smart TV, and it was just these app-based universal remotes that got destroyed by, I guess, the app ecosystem and HomeKit and stuff like that. They just eventually went away.
They did try integrating directly with smart home products like Hue and things like that. They had like an updated version. I had the Harmony 1100 in college, which was like a rectangular tablet, which had physical controls on the side and a touch screen over there. It was really neat. I did a bunch of like Control 4 setup and everything. If you've ever messed with those are like the premium. They're still around, but they're like the ones where you have to hire somebody to come out and program.
Real fancy.
And I knew a person who had software, so I could run it and do. But yeah, like you would buy it through Best Buy, and they would give you like 2 reprogrammings a year for like when you added new products to your, house. But it could control everything.
I'm a tech nerd, but I feel like hiring a technician to come to your house is the limitation for me. And I'll rewire a thermostat, I'll install a ceiling fan. I'm not going to hire somebody to come out and program a universal remote. That's a step too far. But this Switchbot one looks cool. I'm sure it's simple enough. I wish it came in black, but this is definitely something to play with. The first image I ever saw of it, it was just the screen was off, so I thought it was the Siri touchpad on top, or this Apple Siri remote touchpad, and it's like, no, it's a whole display. So that's kind of interesting to me. I want to play with it.
It also supports, which funny enough, like the Apple remote doesn't even do this. It supports like a Find My feature where you can make it make noise so you can locate it.
Nice.
Now, by default, you have to do it through the Switchbot app, but guess what? They support Siri shortcuts, which means you
Yeah.
can just create a Siri shortcut and say, where's the Switchbot remote? And it'll start beeping in the couch cushion. Like, really nice little touch.
Lovely.
Okay, we have a few hands-on to talk about. Got this thing here. I got this thing over here. 2 things, and then Wes has another vacuum to talk about. Before we do, let's thank our sponsor for the episode, Shopify. If you are selling things, you need to check out Shopify. That is whether you have a physical store and you need some sort of inventory POS system, whether you're doing stuff online, whether you're selling physical goods or digital goods, you can do it all with Shopify. And honestly, it was only like 2-3 weeks ago that I found out about the whole in-person Shopify thing, like where you can have like a physical POS system in your stores and then it'll sync with your like online inventory as well. I had no idea they had an in-person POS setup and app and everything like that. So like that's just fun, more things that I am learning about Shopify as they have sponsored this show for so long now. But yeah, they are great both for the actual business because it's so easy to set up and implement, to migrate to manage every aspect of that business. But it's also great for customers. Customers are going to love it because they have that secure, safe, recognizable checkout process that supports things like Apple Pay and Google Pay. There's also Shop Pay that just makes it easy. You go there, you instantly get like a text message that you can verify your identity and pay with your stored payment that you have on file. It makes it very easy to do. And when you are done making a purchase, you can kick that over to the Shop app where customers can track everything from placing the order, for you fulfilling the order, the shipping process, receiving and then leaving a review. Then they can learn more about you. They can see other shops that they might be interested in based on those purchases. Lots of really cool things. And they've been leveling up on their web stuff too. They have not like slowed down at all. They say you can sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. They also say they have the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better compared to other leading commerce platforms. There's so many things to love about Shopify. We have talked about them countless times. Moment, Nomad, what's the name of it? Rothy's, Allbirds, Brooklinen. Wes, how many times have you shopped with Shopify?
I feel like anything that isn't Amazon is Shopify these days, and that's a good thing. It just provides that peace of mind at checkout, and I don't know. Anytime I buy anything, it just feels like I'm going through Shopify. But yeah, click that Apple Pay button. Such a fast checkout. The email receipts and stuff they give, they're plain as day. It's a really well-made system, top to bottom. I really have no complaints.
Yeah, there's a reason that they power 10% of all e-commerce in the US, and they're supported across 175 countries. They have customers in 175 countries, or entrepreneurs, I guess, in those countries. So here's what everyone can do. If you want to, you can go and sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/HomeKit, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/HomeKit now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/HomeKit. So let's start with this guy here, because I've had this for a substantial amount of time, and I have not brought it down to the show, but I love it. This
I keep
is
wanting to buy one.
The Hue Table Lamp. I have it on the video if you're watching, but it is incredibly cool, and it's even nicer in person, which feels weird. But Wes, this thing is all metal. Like the lampshade, the post, the bottom, it is all cast metal. It has a little removable grip here, which Harrison loves to use as a teether. He literally just removes the little silicone holder. But you don't even need it. You could take that off if it's going to sit there. But the point is, this can sit on your nightstand, living room table, anything like that. And then you just pick it up and you take it with you. It's also water resistant, so you could take it outside. You want to have a nice little dinner outside? Take this with you. On top
really cool.
is a little button. You press it and boom, you got light. Very nice diffused light going down with a ring around, so you can also get some horizontal lighting, but it's primarily focused down. You can keep pressing it to cycle through some of the predefined like colors that it has. So there's like, red and orange and blue and green, like some other default ones that you're kind of looking, if you're seeing the video, there's like a purple. There's this warm one that even like flickers a little bit, which is like almost a candlelight situation going on. Yeah. This thing is just so very, very cool. Harrison loves it. We have it in his room. and he just knows to come in. We turn it on, turn the lights off, and we can read books by the little light. We just read books by this thing. We just bring it down, set it on the floor with us. We read stories, and then he presses the button on the top to change it or turn it off, and then set it up on the counter on its charger, and he goes to bed.
Yeah, it has a little wireless charging pad. Yeah.
Yes. Pogo pins on the bottom, 2 little contact pins sit on the little base. It just sits perfectly flush, charges up. So this thing is basically always charged. But we can just carry this around. It's like
it reminds me of a better Hue Go, because I have a Hue Go. It currently acts as my underlighting to my bed, so I don't kick the bed frame when I'm going to bed. If no one's ever done that before, do that. Like go get some underlighting to your bed. It's fun. But yeah, no, that's definitely like, it's like the evolved concept of the Hue Go. It's a lamp you can take anywhere, and it's awesome for blackouts. Like I absolutely want one or two even. They're a little high priced, but you get what you pay for with Hue products. They last forever. I have light bulbs in my house from Hue that I've had since my first ever HomeKit thing I installed in like 2016. So I feel like these have really good longevity, and I'm very interested in this little lamp guy. It looks cool. I like that it's well designed, and yeah, definitely something to look at.
They're $160 though. Best Buy has them right now for $135, I believe. So like
Nice.
a little bit of a discount on it. So yeah, not super cheap at all, but you're buying the whole lamp and the fixture plus like the smart bulbs. And
there's
like
lamps that are more
getting what you
expensive.
paid for.
Yeah. I mean, you can
sure.
go buy an ornate lamp at a store for $500. It's yeah, so I mean, yeah, it's not a very pretty lamp. It's a kind of a industrial design, you're walking into an Apple store kind of lamp, but it's still, a piece of furniture that you're going to use constantly. Like, I feel like the utility pays for itself.
Yeah. And I love the look of these things. Like, it's just very clean and modern looking. I like them. They come in both black and white. Of course, they support full color spectrum. They support HomeKit as well as Matter. So if you're interested in those, link in show notes. So Wes, give me a quick rundown here of what you had been working on.
So I mentioned it before on the show. I was working on the review for the Narwal Freo X Ultra. This is a fun little robot vacuum. I've reviewed a few of these guys before, not narwhals, just robot vacuum mops in general. And this one by far has been the best one. I've really, it's smart in a way that the other ones aren't. So I had the, give me 1 second. My nose is killing me. It's like,
we'll give Wes a second to figure this out. I had another narwhal one, and it did work really well. They did a sponsored video with us, and I liked it a lot, but it's not as fancy as this new Freo X Ultra one.
Right. So I reviewed before. I'm trying to recall the name. They also Dreamy Home, and for whatever reason, I don't know what is with these robot companies. Narwhal's guilty of it too, but they'll have on their webpage like as quiet as a library, as quiet as a babbling brook, and I'm like, it's a vacuum cleaner. It's not going to be as quiet.
Lawnmowers, Wes. I've seen it for lawnmowers. Yeah,
and I remember someone actually got kind of upset with me for a different review, saying, "How dare you say this is allowed? It's loud. This is their ratings. This other review I found has these ratings for it." I'm like, I don't care what the decibel rating is. It's still a noisy vacuum cleaner. Like, anyway, so this one actually is pretty quiet by comparison. The Narwhal, I can hear it from another room. My house, it's kind of an open floor plan in some areas, so depending on where I stand, I can still hear it running, and it's a nice hum. It's not always about the noise level. Let me be clear. 40 decibels for a hairdryer versus a song you're playing, two very different sounds. The sound quality and the tone is also very important. So things I've found with other vacuum cleaners, their tone can just be sour and it be unpleasant to listen to. The Narwhal just comes off kind of soft, and so that's where I can kind of understand where they're coming across as. One of their features is a quiet mode that they say you can run when you're sleeping. I wouldn't run it when I'm sleeping, but again, just the sound of it rolling across my hardwood floors is loud enough to be annoying. Like, I'm not going to run that in the middle of the night. because it's this little like remote control car sound running across the floor, and then a vacuum cleaner and the mop pad scrubbing the floor. Like anyway, I digress. I don't understand why these people expect them to be silent. It is a good vacuum. I like that it has a dust compartment in the vacuum cleaner that I don't have to clean out of the tower, but they do a compression system, so I only have to clean it, every few weeks. It's pretty nice. The mop pads stay really clean. The self-cleaning station actually does a really good job of keeping the mop pads clean, which is always a challenge. You don't want any odors or anything like that, and you don't want dirty mop pads cleaning your floor because that would be, counterproductive. And they have AI, of course, everything's AI now, but it has dirt sense technology where if it thinks your floor is still dirty, it'll go back and continue cleaning until it believes it's clean. And it does this by analyzing the water as it's coming in from the dirty water container in the like as they clean the mop pads, and it sends water to the dirty water container. It can analyze the particulate coming through and decide how dirty that area still is and go back and keep cleaning it. And it does this little wiggle motion on edges. It stops, twists back and forth while applying pressure to make sure it gets all the way to the edge of the wall. Like, there's so many key design points here that other robots just don't do that make this one kind of really nice. So I highly recommend it.
Nice. Well, we'll put a link to the full review in the show notes so you guys can go check that out. So the last hands-on to talk about, I apologize because I thought I had talked about this and I have had it sitting here. And I did not talk about it. I did a YouTube short or a reel or a TikTok about it, and I forgot. So we're going to talk about it now, because if anyone's going to care about this, it's all of you out there listening. So this is the Pitaka Qi2 car charger, right? And some of you already rolled your eyes. Put those eyes back.
I'm not rolling my eyes. I'm looking for a review. Go ahead. Just wait until I tell you the cool thing. So basics first. Qi2 support, right? So 15 watts of car charging, which is fantastic. It's got a ball and pivot joint in the back, which is it's above average. But honestly, the thing with those ball and pivot joints is sometimes, like, no matter how much you tighten them, they can still like move. That's just like universal across the board. So I do find those a little annoying sometimes compared to like some of the arms that they have out there, like the Mophie and Peak Design have done. I like those a lot. Then it has little hooks in the back, which is great. So these basically extend, you twist it a bunch. It goes behind the blades of your vent, and then you tighten it up. It holds very secure, rubber padded. It holds in place. I put this in the car. Very, very secure hold. I liked it a lot. Now, the thing about it that makes it extra cool, this little, if you're watching the video, there's a little toggle on the front here. That is actually, I thought it was first like maybe cool and hot modes, like maybe depending on type of year, because there's like a blue one, a gray one, and a red one. No, it's actually 3 different NFC chips, and you're moving it to 1, 2, or 3, and then you just tap your phone to run an automation. So we've talked about installing NFC tags in your cars, and I know a lot of you have done this. You put it in there, you tap your phone, and it pulls up a playlist, or pulls up a podcast, or gives you a route to somewhere. Maybe you get in and automatically pulls up your map, gives you directions home, and then sends the ETA to your partner. Anything like that you can do. So you can just hop in the car, put it into spot 1, 2, or 3, tap it with your phone, run a shortcut automation off of that NFC, and then lock your phone there, dock it, charge it up, use CarPlay, whatever it is that you're going to do. I've never seen a car charger with built-in NFC before, and I think that's awesome. It's a really smart design, and anyone interested, I've actually written a review about this product pre-Qi2. So it's about 5 months ago I wrote the review, and literally the only differences, the one I wrote about was Qi1 with magnets, so 7.5 watts on your iPhone, and then the latest model is Qi2, so it can go to full 15 watts on your iPhone, your supported iPhone. So that's the difference. So you get the faster charging, but everything else is the same. So if you want to go check out the text review, I have it in the show notes. I love this guy. I'm with you on this. The fact that you can just tap the phone to one of 3 switch positions and get a automation out of it. Like, imagine you, I don't know, want to open your garage door very quickly, or if you want to send an ETA, and you can run a shortcut that says get current location, get estimated time arrival to home, send it to this person, right? Like, you can have these multi-step shortcuts attached to each slider. So send a text to this person, right? I think it's a really smart solution. It actually looks good. It looks decent in a car. Your phone, it's not so big that your phone sticks out from the side. So once your phone's sitting on it, your phone's kind of floating there. And it being a vent mount makes it pretty universal. But it has the ball joint. So even if you don't like Pitaka's vent mount, or if you want to use a different solution, you can stick it anywhere in the car using a different mount as long as it has that universal ball joint. So really smart solution here.
Yeah, I think this is super cool. So you can check out Wes's review on the previous model. That just only good difference again, Qi2 versus Qi, 7.5 versus 15 watts. That is linked. I'll also put a link to buy this thing if anyone's interested in it.
Yeah, definitely get the Qi2 one. If you want fast charging in the car, I get by on the 7.5 watts, which I'm actually using a different car setup now, by the way. But I really enjoyed this particular model. But 15 watts definitely makes a difference, especially on those shorter car trips. So upgrade if you can.
For sure. Go Qi2 all the way. Awesome. Well, that has been it. That is we packed this episode. So much stuff to talk about. I need to go start measuring my cabinets and order my Cync lights because I think I gotta try them. So I'm gonna go do that. Thank you everyone for listening for this episode. Thank you, Wes, for hanging out this week. Hopefully mix it up with some guests in the near future. I know I have one. Hoping late July or August we'll have someone come back on the podcast that was here, I believe, a while ago, or I was on his podcast. I can't remember what we did last time, but it'll be exciting. We have more cool stuff to talk about. Do everything you guys do. Go to youtube.com/HomeKit Insider to watch the video of this. Give us 5, 10, 100-star rating on your podcast player of choice. Otherwise, we'll catch you next time.